YouTube Gen X, what's going on? It's your boy Pink Elephant. Um, Needed to take a little break from work, so kind of like outside in the courtyard. So I decided to do a little video or whatever. Um, okay. In this video, I want to address a lot of your younger professionals and future professionals. So let's say, I don't know, you're in your last year or your last couple of months or quarters in college or whatever, and you're looking to get into your career. So you're looking to network, but the type of networking that you hope can land you a job and kind of get your foot into the door as far as where you want your career to go. So it's not just a job, it's like a career type of job. Um, there are some things that you guys have to understand because about once a month, I get about two or three emails from people who are in your position and they're like, oh, okay, do you know of anything? Can you help me out? Can you do this? Can you do that? And the part that always kills me is you guys never give yourselves enough time. Nothing's going to happen overnight. Nothing's going to happen in a week. Nothing's going to happen in a month. It takes some time. Number one, the people that you're looking for help from, they may not get to you right away, especially if they're not necessarily addressing your issues um, while they're at work. So a lot of the times, it's like a personal email for me, and I don't address that till maybe the weekend. Because when I go home, I don't want to see a computer. So I'm not really thinking about your situation till the weekend. Not to say that I don't care, but it's just I'm not addressing it till the weekend. So you have to understand that stuff takes time. So if I'm going to reach out to somebody else on your behalf, let's say I know somebody or I may know of an opportunity, that person more than likely may not be, checking their email um, weekly. So they may also be on some like, well, I'll get to it on the weekend. So just simple communication, just simple emailing can take a while for people to respond. So as far as some of my non-work related activities that I'm involved with, for example, I sent out an email maybe about a week ago, and I'm slowly getting responses back because I understand that people aren't responding during their work time. They're responding when they have some downtime, maybe on the weekend or maybe in the evening. So I already know it's going to take a couple of weeks for me to get the responses that I need. So nothing's going to happen overnight. Like we have to put that out right away. Moving on, why are you so special and why are you so unique? If you really think about it, you're saying, hey, I would like for you to give me an opportunity, or I would like for you to put me in contact with somebody that you know who can give me an opportunity. And for me, it's just like, okay, so you're saying you want to use um, my relationship with somebody else to help you out. Why? Why should I put my reputation on the line? Is this where you want to be? Are you good at what you do? Or are you just looking for a job? I can't stand when folks want to reach out and just, oh, I need a job. Well, hey, McDonald's is hiring. This is about career. So why should I put my neck out for you? Or why should I go out of my way, right, to hopefully get you into a certain opportunity? What have you done? Why are you so special? Why are you so different from the five other emails I got from people all asking me to do the same thing? And how do you stand out? This is where you get into the whole idea of being professional and selling yourself. You get a sloppy email here or there, no resume attached, no nothing, and it's just like you're not selling yourself. So if you are going to reach out to somebody to help you out or to give you an opportunity, you better have your shit together. You better understand that I have to stand out because this person's probably getting a whole bunch of other emails as well. So don't come at me with, or anybody else with a poorly constructed email. Grammar's off, formatting is off, no resume, no discussion on, your skills. And I know for me, I was the type, hey, can I get on your calendar? Can I come sit down with you? Because I knew I wanted to sell myself so they can know who I am and what I stand for and where I want to go so they can help me out, so they can know me. So I'm not just another face, I'm not another email. Because quite frankly, for me, half the time I won't even respond. Or I may say, I don't know of any idea or any opportunities. And I didn't really think about it, but they just, the email was formatted poorly. They came at me super sloppy. Oh no, I have nothing available. I don't know anybody who's doing that. Versus the person who comes at me legit. Hey, can I get coffee with you? Or can we go out to lunch? Or can I call you? Or they have a well constructed email, and they have their resume, and they're just ready to go. And it's just like, you know what? I like this person. I'm gonna go out of my way to help them out. That's what I would more than likely do in that scenario. Definitely go out of my way to make it worth their while because they've taken the time and the effort to come at me properly, to come at me officially, and they're selling themselves. So to recap, number one, give yourself some time. Don't wait till you're like desperate, um, and then you want to start to network because people aren't going to move quickly, right? So you need, at the very least, I would say 6 months, right? You know when you're going to graduate, you know when you're going to be done with your internship, right? So you know a couple of things already. So don't act as if all of a sudden you have to jump the gun. So give yourself some time. You know when you're going to graduate. You can talk to your advisor and figure out, how many more quarters or semesters you have. So you start early. Next part, um, do you have any relevant practical experience? And I guess you can almost tie this into starting early. Um, Unfortunately, in today's game, you are already expected to have some sort of, not expertise, but some sort of exposure to the industry that you want to be in, which is somewhat different from back in the day where it was understood that you're a young professional, so there's more leeway. Now, it doesn't matter if you are a new professional, they still want to have, let's say, I don't know, 1 to 2 years of experience or some sort of exposure. So are you exposing yourself to where you want to be? That's another thing I can't stand. Oh, I need help. Can you help me do this? Can you help me do that? Or do you know of any opportunities? But yet you have no exposure to where you're saying you want to be. It doesn't work that way, especially if you're still in school. So don't sit there and act as if simply having a 4.0 means a lot. It doesn't mean anything if you have no practical experience. My younger sister's in college right now, and I'm big on that, to the point where I had to clash heads with my mom because my mom thought that I was taking her away from her studies, and I'm like, no, not so much. She needs to know how to do both. See, my mom is from that old school type of camp where, oh, you're just supposed to get good grades, and somehow showing up to a job interview or showing up to an employer with your report card that says you have a 4.0, they're going to be impressed. But yet you have no practical experience. You've never had any exposure to this industry or this occupation. So that's another big thing. So a lot of the times I'll get folks who reach out to me and they're looking for a job, and it's just like, yo, you're not even at that point. You're better served asking me if I know of any volunteer opportunities or any internship opportunities so that you can get exposure, so that you can get some sort of applicable skills and applicable experience. So you can't jump the gun. You can't go from having no experience to all of a sudden you're supposed to be getting some sort of job. Once again, it doesn't work that way. Maybe it did in the past. I don't know. For me, it didn't. So, quite frankly, if you're still in school, you're still in college, and you're not doing anything related to where you want to be, you're in trouble. The only majors that I know of that pretty much have experience and exposure built in, a lot of the times are your engineering majors, especially your computer science and your hardware type of computer engineering folks, because a lot of the times what they're doing is what's going on in the professional world. So for them, they're like the only exception to the rule where they can go from college into a career or whatever because they have hands-on training. But for everybody else, no. Sorry. You need some sort of workable experience outside of school. Because I see the same shit with folks who even go off to graduate school. I would say I get maybe, I don't know, half of the whole, hey, do you know of any opportunities? And some of them are coming from graduate students. And it's like, okay, you're in grad school, which is cool, but when I look at your resume, you still don't have any practical experience to where you want to be, which isn't going to help you. And like I said initially, a lot of this is tied back to time. You have to give yourself time. For me to play it on the safe side, I would say coming in to, let's say, your last academic year in college, you should already be on some like, okay, I'm trying to set myself up for my career, my future profession. So I need experience, I need exposure. I need to start contacting people now, maybe not for jobs, but maybe so I can get some job shadowing, or so I can get some internship hours, or I can get some, volunteer experience, so that in a couple of months I can then say, hey, I've had exposure to your field. This is why, you know, I would be a good fit to work for you, or this is why you should help me um, find the right opportunity. That's the type of shit that you need to be doing. Not the whole, okay, I graduated, I need a job, I have nothing going on. Let me email everybody I can email, sloppy resume, sloppy email, no experience. You'll be damned if, don't be surprised if somebody doesn't even reply to what you send out. How are you going to waste my time? So you want me to use my free time or my weekend time to look for opportunities for you, right? But yet I'm not convinced. Like I said before, you're asking somebody to use their contacts, uh, use their relationships to put in a good word for you. So if that's going to be the case, why? I've definitely put in a good word for people, and that's because I knew who they were. They sold themselves to me so I can sell them to somebody else. So even where I'm at now, I had somebody reach out to me because they want to intern in my office. And they're doing a pretty good job so far of selling themselves because, a lot of folks hit me up and some of my other coworkers, oh, is there any opportunities or any this, any that? And then, my supervisors are like, we don't know, we don't know, we don't know. Because of the whole, their shit's not put together. How they present themselves is not, where it should be. Sloppy email, sloppy resume, because we forward their resumes to the supervisors just to see, if they're worth the time, if they're worth the effort and the resources that we have to put towards them, because it is a paid um, type of internship. And the sad part about it is it's not even like we're not looking to bring on any interns. It's just one of those things where people come at us very sloppily. So they get a quick no. So I know I'm not covering everything, and I'll probably do a part two, but this is big because I deal with this shit a lot. Um, and especially for African Americans, you can ill afford to be ill equipped when you graduate from college or if you're a young professional. You can't afford to be, oh, let me rely on my connections. We don't have it. Yes, it's unfortunate. I know a lot of people who have nice jobs who are sloppy and very mediocre, but they had those connections. We don't. I didn't. I don't know anybody that did. right? So you really have to be on point with your shit. If you're looking to network, if you're looking to connect with somebody who's already in your field or your profession, come game tight. It doesn't matter if you know them personally. Be professional. Everything, this is all about, this is professional stuff. This is all work. This isn't pleasure. This isn't for fun. This is work. So I could be cool with you. But if we're talking about some work related professional stuff, you have to be on your A game. So don't, use the whole, well, I know you personally, like, nah, come game tight. And I'm very clear with that. I'm very clear with the whole, all right, if we're talking about work stuff, we're going to talk about work stuff in a professional manner. Because I'm not going to use, my my friendship with you, right, doesn't give you any sort of professional credibility. So if I'm trying to sell you, I can't say because we're friends, here's why this person should get this opportunity. No, I have to go in and say, listen, from a professional standpoint, this is why they should get this opportunity. I don't care if we're friends or if we know family members, or I knew your older brother or your older sister. I don't care about all that. We go to the same church, so keep that in mind. I do get a lot of emails, just on YouTube, not so much on Gen X, on YouTube, from a lot of your young professionals. And, this is something that I'm very passionate about because I know how hard it is. Trust me, I know how hard it is. But there's some stuff that we're not doing that we need to do to make ourselves more competitive. So at the end of the day, start early. Don't wait till, you're in a bad position, um, and then you want to look. And then when you're ready to reach out to people, come game tight. Come game tight and understand that you need some sort of experience. So don't necessarily come through asking for a job. Come through and maybe say, hey, do you know of any volunteer opportunities, any job shadowing opportunities, any internship opportunities? I'm really trying to get my foot into the door and learn the rules and learn the game. You would get somebody's attention that way. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you they'll read your email and take you seriously. And that's what you want. So that's my video. Y'all take it easy. God bless.